what would be involved in becoming the best Pepsi man?
Maybe be like a spokesperson for Pepsi.
You could be like the Jared from Subway of Pepsi, except without, all the bad stuff. You'd be like the opposite. Like, here's this guy who was eating healthy and drinking water, and he drank a bunch of Pepsi, and now he has diabetes and is dying. Hey, what's your name, dog?
Trout.
Trout.
That's what everybody's always called me.
How's life, Trout?
It's been great. I went about 2 months of thinking I was going to be a father, so life's great.
Tell me more.
So, you're gonna have to forgive me. I'm a little hoarse. I've been a little sick lately, but basically, I had an ex-girlfriend who I broke up with on Christmas Eve call me to tell me she was pregnant. So obviously, I freaked the fuck out, and I still didn't talk to her because I was like, I'd rather have had a friend of hers who I gave my number to, because I didn't think I was the father based off of what she was saying the doctor told us. She said she was like 4 weeks along, but it wasn't like far enough for me to not 100% know I was not a father. But just about 2 weeks ago, I got confirmation that she lied about the whole thing and was never pregnant.
So, let me get this straight. All right, on Christmas, your ex-girlfriend calls you, tells you that she's pregnant, and you kind of ignore it because you think you weren't the father, and you're hitting on her friend, and then later you find out that she ignored the whole thing.
So I gave her friend my number. Yeah, I gave her friend my number, not for the purpose of dating her, but for the purpose of like, hey, if something changes and this might be my kid, please let me know. But it was like weighing on me for quite a while. She had mental issues that didn't come up until later on in our dating. So I was not 100% sure I was, if she was telling the truth. But I also wasn't, even if she was, I knew she had seen another guy since we broke up. And it could be the other guys.
What did you do when you found out that she was making this up?
I went out and partied and spent some of a good bit of the money that I had saved up, because part of the whole thing was I was saving up in case I was going to be a dad. Because I was like, I'm going to have to pay child support. I'm going to have to figure out how to, pay for a car seat and, because, I didn't want to have a kid and not be a part of the kid's life, but I also knew I wanted nothing to do with her.
So, well, I guess congrats on not being the father. That's like, or I guess there was never even a child to be a father for.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, sure.
Do you think you'd ever have kids? Or just you don't want to have one with her because she was lying to you?
I think you got it right the second time. Because I think part of it was conflicted because, in a weird way, the idea of being a dad, I'm 25, so I'm about that age where it's, about right. So there was a little bit of excitement for like, being a dad would be pretty cool. But I just was like, I absolutely do not want it to be with her.
Are you back out dating other people at all?
I took, it was kind of weird because, for one, how do you even like go to a girl and say, we went on a few dates. Also, I don't know if I'm a dad or not. But
what do you mean? What do you mean you don't know? I thought you knew that it was fake.
I meant after, like in between that news and like in between her telling me she's pregnant and between the lie, like finding out that she lied.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like a while where I was like, I wouldn't dare put another person through like having to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, that would be a huge, like, what the fuck's going on in this person's life kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also kind of, like, I don't know, do I want to date right now? Because I feel kind of emotionally taken advantage of, because like the whole point of her lie was she was trying to get back with me. And like, can I really trust somebody else again?
Yeah.
Or take everything at face value?
Yeah, man. I completely understand that. It is really hard when you've been kind of burned by something like that to get out there and like be able to trust people again. That's difficult.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't have an answer to that because like it can be hard to learn how to trust folks again. But I think, dude, a part of me wants to say that the solution is to like know for yourself that like you go about the world in the best possible way that you can. You would never do anything like that to anyone else. And if anyone betrays your trust in a way like that, that it's a reflection of them and not you. And, hopefully you feel that way and you kind of internalize that, and it helps you sleep at night and live your life.
Yeah. I think it was kind of easier. I had issues with my last really long-term relationship, which was like 4 years, and then I found out she cheated on me. So it's been kind of rough trusting people and getting back out there to date. I ended up not dating for 2 years after that.
Yeah.
Or about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hate to cheat on you, but my normal therapist and I have worked on it for quite a while.
You're not cheating on me because I'm not a therapist. I'm a insane green little boy on the computer. Tell me what your therapist said, because like this is a very interesting topic, and I'm curious what a real therapist told you on how to deal with it. So,
you want me to start with the when she first said she was pregnant?
Sure.
Or you wanna? So.
Well, you said that. I assume told your therapist, you were like, hey, I had this one girl cheat on me, and then I had this other girl lie to me that she was pregnant. How do I put myself out there and trust people again? And I'm curious what your therapist might have said in response to that.
Well, so what I told her was that basically at the moment, I think, I need to take some time to like process that, at least right now, because I'm about 2 or 3 weeks into that. So I was like, I think I need to take some time away and just look at myself, and then we can kind of come back to it, which she thought was a good idea, because you don't want to go into another relationship with you know, that in your mind that in your mind right now. It's not really healthy.
Mm-hmm. And have you been able to kind of successfully do that? Like, are you gonna go on a how's your journey of self-discovery been going?
It's been pretty nice. Since all of that happened, I've done well. Since I broke up with her, I've done quite a lot. Very different in my life. I went on a trip by myself to New Mexico, Texas. There was another state in there, Arizona, and I spent like a week and a half to myself and just with my thoughts to kind of decompress that whole situation. And after I found out that I'm not going to be a dad, I've set up a trip to Japan in September.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Man, I think you're doing the right thing. I really think you're doing the right thing. I think your therapist is a smart person telling you that you just got to go back into yourself, reflect, go to Japan, fuck around, eat some 7-Eleven food.
You know, I bet they have great 7-Elevens in Japan if they have them.
They do have great 7-Elevens in Japan. Nothing will cure depression. I don't know what I'm fucking saying. Go to 7-Eleven. Go to 7-Eleven in Japan. That's my not real therapist answer to this.
You know, as weird as this is going to sound, there is a place, very American place in Japan I do want to go.
Where?
I've worked at Costco here for almost a decade, and I'm very excited to go see their Costco.
They have a Costco in Japan?
Yeah, they got a couple of them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think your therapist is smart. I think going in for some deeper reflection is a good idea. Was this conversation helpful for you at all?
Yeah, I think, you know, it was kind of hard for a while. I had to keep it to I never had to, but like I don't like to tell people my business. And so like there was like 2 people in my life that knew what was going on. And it was kind of nice to get to tell a stranger and at least, you know, complain about it a little bit, but also you're like, yeah, you're doing the right thing by looking at yourself and taking some time for yourself.
Yeah, by the way, can I say another thing? You said 25 is the right time to raise a family and have kids. I disagree. I think it's the right time to go to Japan.
Damn straight.
Yeah, dude. I don't know why you're in a don't be man, don't be in a rush, you know? Don't be in a fucking rush to have kids and do all this shit, right? Like I go on more solo trips. I mean, I don't know, everyone's different. Different things make everyone happy.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely didn't think, because I've never been on a trip by myself. I've always been with like family or friends. But I don't know, I feel like I learned a lot about myself while I was, you know, had nobody else's needs to look at or, you know, think about.
Yeah.
So I think stuff like that's important.
Is there anywhere else that you want to go on a solo trip to?
So at the moment, there's also, so I took the whole month of September off from work, but I'm also looking at going to Korea while I'm over there, and if I can get enough money together, maybe even Australia.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, do all that shit, dude. Don't spend a whole bunch of time like trying to figure out how you can. I don't know. I think you're doing the right thing, man. You don't need me to fucking tell you anything. You're doing the right thing. Is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
No. Don't eat the Costco hot dog. Sorry, it's not that great.
Take care, man. Have a good rest of your night.
You too, Kay. Thanks. Hello.
Hi there. What's your name?
Mike.
Mike. What's up, Mike? What's going on, man?
Well, I have a few things I guess I could chat with you about. I sent you a text. I guess there's two things I think that pique my interest when it comes to speaking to you. One is my alcoholic mother, and the other is my quest to be a pro wrestler. And I'll let you decide what you think is more interesting to talk about.
Well, you actually texted me. You texted me those things, but you also texted me a third thing that you didn't mention just now. You said you wanted to talk about a Pepsi quest.
I'm on a Pepsi quest.
What is a Pepsi quest?
I recently I was like how do I say this? I'm not really like a big soda guy. I kind of just been like drinking water forever, you know. And I recently just like started drinking Pepsi, and I'm like kind of addicted, you know. And I guess my Pepsi quest is to, I don't really know. I don't know if my Pepsi quest is to become like the best Pepsi man, or to stop drinking Pepsis altogether, you know.
What would be involved in becoming the best Pepsi man?
I guess like maybe to be like a spokesperson for Pepsi, you know, or like just like anything financially, like we're like drinking so much Pepsi will like, you know, make me money in a sense, you know what I mean? Like someone can see me like, oh, that's the Pepsi guy, you know what I mean? Like
you
someone
could be
sees me on the
like,
street, oh, that's the freaking Pepsi guy.
You could be like the Jared from Subway of Pepsi, except without, you know, all the bad stuff, and you'd be like the opposite. You'd be like, here's this guy who, you know, he was eating healthy and drinking water, and he drank a bunch of Pepsi, and now he has diabetes, and is dying.
That's the thing, though, dude. You try that wild cherry Pepsi flavor, dude. It's like you can't put it down. It's so good.
Well, I mean, I guess it sounds like you've taken after your mother, but with Pepsi, which is better than alcohol.
Dude, right? Yeah, I know.
Did you want to talk about that?
Sure. Yeah. I guess like, so it's like a bit of not really a long story, but I guess it's just kind of complicated, but I'm going to like shorten it for the sake of everyone listening. I think so like my like family has kind of been plagued with like substance abuse and like addiction and that sort of thing ever since I was like little, you know. Like my father, I think he OD'd when I was like 16, and then my uncle passed away like a month later from overdose as well. And you know, my mom, you know, she's still alive and kicking and everything, but she's been like struggling with addiction since I was like a kid too, you know. And it's like, I feel like with my whole family, it's been a very like strong issue, and sometimes it's difficult. I have a hard time connecting with, I guess, like I feel like I have no real connection with my parents because of that, you know?
How old are you?
I'm 20.
You're only 20?
Yeah.
I thought you were in your like late 30s, man.
Yeah, everybody sees me too and thinks that because I got like this big beard and shit, but nah, I'm just 20.
Well, goddamn. What do you do? Where are you? Where are you in school? Are you what's your like life like as of today?
Well, currently I'm just I'm working doing delivery. I don't go to school at the moment because when I was in high school, I just decided to not do it. I guess at least not now. It just wasn't for me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm working in delivery and I'm chasing my pro wrestling dream. That's kind of my life at the moment.
Pro wrestling with a plan B to be a Pepsi influencer if that doesn't work out.
Yeah, I guess essentially, you know, at the moment, that's kind of what we're working with.
Talk to me more about this pro wrestling journey.
Well, you know, it was kind of like something that's appealed to me and I've been into ever since I was like a little kid. Like I grew up in like shitty households and I moved a lot, and like, you know, like I guess when you grow up with a mom who's like struggles with addiction, she's like you grow up with a lot of like different men in the house and a lot of like really bad situations, and I feel like pro wrestling, watching it on the TV, was that one thing that kind of like distracted me and was like a comfort, you know. And I think that's why, like, out of everything I've been into since I was a kid, it was like the one thing that, I guess the one thing that dragged me away, and I kind of just, well, I've always stuck with it because of that, you know.
So what does your quest entail? Is there like, I don't know, are there open mics for pro wrestling?
Kind of. That's why it's interesting to talk to you about it, because I know, like, you know, you did stand up and things like that, and I think like coming up in pro wrestling and stand up, I think, are very similar in the sense of like it's kind of just like making connections and finding opportunities and just like you know, working small, really shitty shows for like little to no pay and just kind of like working your way up the ranks in that sense. You know, like I'm not a stand up guy, but I understand a lot of making it in comedy is very similar to that, you know.
What is your wrestling persona?
I'm kind of like in between characters in the moment because I'm like very new, but I'm right now I'm like doing this kind of like little like emo goth character, you know, because it's like my wrestling character, like I'm not emo in real life or anything, but I think my character is just me in real life times 10, where it's like I'm very like, since someone who gets like emotional in their head a lot with like their past trauma or whatever, and I was like, all right, if I'm gonna like talk about this in wrestling, I might as well like have an aesthetic behind it, and I feel like you know, the golf emo look is kind of very dark and into that sort of thing, you know.
Okay, real quick, did you say goth emo or golf emo?
Like emo golf. I mean, I know they're like different things or whatever, but I don't.
No, you didn't hear me. Did you say an emo golfer or a goth emo?
The second one you said.
Okay, I thought I was about to be like, how the fuck did you arrive at emo golfer? That's pretty creative.
No, that'd be sick, but no, it's just a little emo guy, a little emo kid, you know.
So what is what do you like? Do you have like lines that you've written?
Well, I guess with wrestling, it's very much like if I'm doing a match, depending on what it is, it's very much like, you know, like say I go to a show, an event, the promoter will put together the matches, and if I'm facing Lyle, the promoter will be like, all right, you guys have a match, you're gonna go 9 minutes, Lyle's gonna win, and Lyle's the bad guy, and Lyle's gonna cheat to win in the end. The rest you guys can come up with, and me and you would just kind of talk before and figure out what we're gonna do, you know, and make it, I guess, make sense, you know, and hopefully get a reaction from the crowd and everything, you know.
Do you at least get like do you know how like in like real fighting they pair you up by weight class? Do they at least pair you up with someone who it looks like you kind of have a chance with?
So, I mean, sometimes, but like I think that's like the big appeal of pro wrestling is like, you know, it's very theatrical, you know. I'm like a smaller guy, so sometimes they'll pair me up with a much bigger man, so it's almost like that David and Goliath story, you know, of like, oh, can the small underdog take down the fucking big dude twice his size, you know? So it's like very theatrical and grand in that sense, you know? That's what makes it very fun and appealing to me, I think.
So, what is your name again?
Mike.
What's the dream in pro wrestling? What's like the ultimate thing? Is it to end up on the WWE? Is it to like have your own show? What would be the goal?
The end goal, it really is just to be able to have it support me, like be my living, you know, wherever that is, you know. I don't really care. I want to make enough money to where that can be my thing, you know, because the way I see it, like getting paid to do something you would do for free, I feel like that's where you can say like that I've made it in life. Whatever that thing is, it's like if you do it for free and you're getting paid, let alone like being able to like pay your bills and shit by it, it's like, oh, like that's awesome. Like what more could I really ask for? I feel like out of life in general, you know, it's like I can just fucking make money doing something that I genuinely love and like I get excited to do, and not like going down to the Amazon factory or flipping burgers or something, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, there is, It's interesting, right? Because there is, I think, a hidden benefit, I would say, to having what you do for fun and fulfillment and enjoyment and what you do to make a living as two separate things. But there's pros and cons of that, and then there's pros and cons of having them be the same thing. You know, I don't know. I have sort of unrefined thoughts and perspectives on that, because I've kind of wrestled with it, no pun intended, you know, in terms of which lifestyle is better. But
let me ask you this: if tomorrow,
yeah,
if you like financially tomorrow were well enough to retire, right? And let's just say like you just couldn't make, like you made enough to retire and you couldn't make any more money doing the thing you do now, would you still just keep doing it even if you weren't making like any money?
You know, I'm going to be honest with you about that. I'm totally being completely honest with you. There are there's a lot of aspects to what I do, and I think that there would be certain aspects that I wouldn't stop being a gecko, but there are certain there's certain aspects to what I do that like make money, and then certain ones that don't. Like the shit that doesn't make money is like when I like go to Japan and interview people on the street. Like that doesn't make any money, but I love fucking doing it. So I would do shit like that, and I would probably like do less like phone calls and stuff, I think. So I wouldn't give up what I'm doing altogether, but I would, the aspects of it that I do just because I think they're fun and cool, I would probably just do 100% of those.
Yeah, like, I imagine like you would find it very, like if you just suddenly just stopped doing the gecko thing, you would find it like, oh shit, like this is a big empty void. I got to fill it with something. You know, I guess because I feel the same way with wrestling, even though it's not my living or anything. It's like the one thing I do that I quite often that I enjoy a lot. And when I find myself not doing it for like even a couple days, it's like, oh shit, and like what do I do? And I'm just sitting around doing nothing, you know?
Well, how do you make money off of wrestling? Is it like do you get paid to do like shows? Would you ever put on your own shows?
Oh yeah, I would if I like, you know, had the like right now I'm very much just like trying to get better at wrestling and making like connections and like that sort of thing or whatever. But yeah, you pretty much just get paid like, you know, usually, I mean, especially when you're starting out, I imagine it's similar to stand-up where you're not making very much, sometimes like nothing depending on the show.
Oh, hey, real quick, man, real quick. Can you, I don't know if you're like covering your mouth or something or covering your phone, but you sound a little muffled.
Hold on, I think my fan might be too loud. Give me a second.
Are you there? Did you leave forever?
Oh no, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. What were you saying?
Is that better?
You were talking about how you can make money in wrestling.
Yeah, it's kind of just like finding opportunities and taking whatever money you can get, you know. But starting out, it's very much more like making connections. Like say you go to a show and you wrestle, and it's like, oh, like I met this guy, now he wants to put me on another show, and now it's like, I can start making a little bit of money. But it's like the exposure. When you start out, it's very much more about the exposure than the money. You know, the money's just kind of a bonus, but you try to get exposure so down the line you can make like actual money and not like $20 whatever. Like 2 weeks from now I'm driving down to North Carolina. It's like a 8 or 7 hour drive, you know, and I'll probably make like $30 or $40, but it's a really good opportunity just to like get my name out there and shit, you know.
Can I give you some advice? I want to advise you.
Yeah.
So and this is a thing that I'm like super big on, is like the way, because this is kind of how it works a little bit in comedy, or at least how I felt it did, is like the way to get your name out there, as you're talking about, is to put on your own shows, right? Because you could be, you know, sitting around waiting for somebody to give you an opportunity or to book you on their you know, wrestling gig that you have to drive, you know, 5 hours down to do, right? But what would put you in a greater advantage, and also, establish you in the community, and at the end of the day, most importantly, be fucking fun, is if you put on your own shows instead of waiting around for other people to book you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're definitely right. Like, that was, like, that sounds awesome, and I'd love to do that. I think the only thing that'll be stopping me is just, like, I guess, like, financially, it's like when you, like, just to get a ring, like, God forbid, like, if you, like, I think if you're getting, like, a really, really, like, S tier fucking ring, it's probably gonna be like $10,000.
Well, what about a shitty ring?
Probably a few thousand, I imagine.
What about like building one on What about like I don't know. I don't know anything about what the startup costs are of professional wrestling, but you could DIY it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm literally like a moron. Like, I don't even understand the logistics of even putting on a show, to be honest with you. I would love to learn. But I think also another way of getting exposed, like you said, it's just like through social media. Like, I'm trying to, like, I post like cool little things on Instagram and shit, and just like, I think through the community, how people can see that and be like, oh, this guy is doing cool stuff. Like, I do a lot of like aerial moves, like backflips and things like that, and I think when you get those things on video, people see like, oh, that was really cool, I want to see that guy actually wrestle, and it's like, so just getting yourself out there. That's why I think, like, I'm not a big social media like guy in terms of like liking it, but it's very good in terms of just like getting your name out there with whatever it is you do.
Well, can you tell us, like, before we go, can you give us a line from your wrestling persona, like something you maybe said in the ring, or like how you introduce yourself or something like that?
Oh God, that's the thing, because like I got the wrestling down, but I'm so bad at like talking and like that kind of shit. A line. What's a line I've said? Oh man, I haven't cut a lot of promos yet. Oh God, it's hard to do that without fucking doxing myself, because I say my name a lot.
Wait a minute. Go ahead. What's your do your thing?
Not my first name. I was talking about my wrestling name, because my wrestling name is like my real like last name.
But aren't you making videos to try to put yourself out there?
Yeah, I guess I was talking in terms of like your audience, you know what I mean?
Go whatever you want to do, man.
Actually, fuck it. It doesn't matter. I don't care. So my wrestling name is Rulo, and then one of my friends was like, yo, you should say, don't rule out Rulo. And I was like, man, that's corny and dumb. I'm never going to say that. That's so corny and dumb. But then I started thinking and saying it, and I was like, you know what, man? If I'm going to be the underdog character, then I'm just going to start saying that. It makes sense. And it's like a lot of wrestling catchphrases are corny and silly, but like, fuck it. I'm just going to say it. And I say it now. And, sometimes people will hear it when I say it, like, hey, yeah, I want that guy to win now. And, whatever. But yeah, I guess that's the one.
Don't rule out Rula. Rock and Rula. Rock and roll Rula. Don't rule out rock and roll Rula. I like that.
It's Rulo.
Rulo. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Terrible with names.
It's cool.
Rulo, is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
I guess I'll ask you one quick question. I meant to ask it earlier, but I think I forgot.
Sure.
I spoke to you about, like, I mentioned how, like, substance abuse in my family and everything. It's kind of led me ever since I was, like, I pretty much has been straight edge ever since then. Like, I've devoted my kind of a big part of my life to being like, all right, like, I've had a lot of family members, like, go down paths, and like, I have ADHD, so I know I'm also like I get addicted to things very easily. So I pretty much decided to cut out alcohol and anything like that, you know? How would you recommend, as a very young man, very young person, just being like social, like being able to be sociable and like make new friends, and that's with like that restriction that I have?
That's a really interesting question. I vibe with it because I'm trying to like drink and smoke less. I've never been a crazy drinker, but definitely a big Smoker. I mean, dude, my answer to that is like, well, it's a few things. It's like, well, you don't need to drink to make friends. Like, all of the good friends that I have and good life experiences that I have that I can think of in my life were not alcohol related. Like alcohol, like I think that's not a true postulate. I don't know who came up with that postulate that alcohol equals friendship. That's not true in the slightest. My recommendation for you as a young person trying to make friends is to put on these fucking wrestling shows. You know, I mean, that's where you're gonna make all your friends, is doing because this is a thing that you want to do. There's a scene for it, there's a community for it, and so if you contribute to that scene and that community and you show up every day, you're gonna fucking make a shit ton of friends, and you didn't have to take a sip of alcohol doing it. So, you know, the key to making friends is to find or create a community somewhere and contribute to it, not to fucking slam a fucking fifth of Jack.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. Last thing I'll say is, I'll just say fuck it. Follow me on Instagram, RUL10. So it's just Rulo, but the second L is a 1. Maybe you'll see me some cool stuff on there, maybe. And last thing, I've noticed you use like 2 like background songs for your podcast, for your streams, and the one with the little piano where it's like do 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 do. That one's way better, and you should use that one more often. It's more calming and comforting, I think.
I feel so dumb because I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'll do that.
Okay, just listen back to one of your things, and you'll hear the exact little note I said.
Take it easy, Rulo. Rula. Right. Did I fuck it up?
No, you didn't fuck it up. You got it, dude. You got it.
Take care.
You too.
Yeah, I'm on. I've been talking lots of shit about this. I'll keep talking lots of shit about this. I'm on my trying to be on a little fitness journey. I'm trying to go to the gym, eat healthier. I'm counting my calories in my notes app, all that shit. We'll see how long it lasts. But part of that has been avoiding weed and alcohol. Alcohol, of course, because it's like 8 fucking. Like, if you drink, you need to drink like 3 beers to get drunk, right? Something like that. And every beer has like 300 calories. That's like 1,000 calories just from drinking. It's insane. So I'm cutting that out. I was never really a big drinker to begin with. The thing for me is the weed, you know, because it just makes I get high and it just makes me hungry. But yeah, like I said I'm just gonna keep fucking it up. I'm gonna call him R. Like I said to R, is can't think of a. I've had fun nights in my life, getting drunk, but it's not the how do I say, like the crux of making friends. You know, the crux of making friends. I'll just repeat what I said to him is fostering some kind of community, which is what he can do with his wrestling thing, and I hope he does it. But you know, I kind of wanted to push back on this because he was talking about how he needs $10,000. It's like, bro, isn't there all this backyard wrestling shit? Isn't that like a whole thing? Isn't that what ICP? Isn't that what the Insane Clown Posse did? It's just backyard wrestling shit. Why don't you just do shit in your bed? Why don't you just get a bunch of guys together, beat the shit out of each other in their backyard? Like, you know, isn't that how this all started? I don't know. I didn't look into it, but I don't think you need $10,000. Thanks for calling, R. Oh, and don't get have everyone sign a waiver. Have everyone sign a waiver, R.
Call from
Ham.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
Doing okay. What's your name?
My name's Cam.
Cam, what's up, man? What do you want to talk about today?
Nothing, man. I recently like been watching you for about a year now, and I watched like a documentary that they like did on you recently, and just want to say that super cool work that you do, really inspirational. Like just the fact that you allow people to kind of have like more of like a thought on their own and just kind of let them speak freely and stuff. It just really kind of shows a different perspective on interviewing process or kind of like podcasting and whatnot. So just really cool what you do and everything.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you saying all those kind words. Yeah, that documentary, I had a lot of mixed feelings about it because it showed off how it was pretty much about me being miserable, I think. Which, by the way, I mean, look, at the end of the day, great angle, right? It's the Pagliacci the clown angle.
I completely agree.
But yeah, so I guess that's me. I'm a sad clown.
Nah, don't ever say that, man. It's just, I feel like your personality, the mood, honestly, for the whole like Gecko and the whole show that you have going on. So I feel like it really like brings a lot of value, and I think you do really a lot of good work for people and just making people kind of think differently and have just a way to get something off their chest and reach out to someone that they don't really know and stuff. So just really cool, and just, I don't know, it's just a really good idea. Props to you, man.
Thanks, brother. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate you saying that. That's nice. You're right. I shouldn't be so such a fucking asshole to myself. Well, anyway, Cam, listen, I appreciate you saying all that. Buddy, what's up with you? Would you want to? Is there anything in particular that you wanted to talk about yourself, your life?
Yeah, so I recently have just broken up with my my girlfriend, and just kind of going through kind of like a rough phase for like the last few months and stuff. And I don't know, it's just kind of like being alone. We were together for about like 4 years or so, and kind of just being alone with yourself now and kind of reflecting on like what had transpired and what you can do better moving forward on like for like future relationships and stuff like that. But I don't know, do you have any like good like advice on like how to kind of get through it a little bit better? I've been trying to go out, like hang out with my friends and be more social and kind of get out and stuff, travel and kind of just do that whole thing. But just kind of mentally, I just kind of feel really down. I kind of feel like there's just an empty space kind of missing in my life. And
yeah,
I don't know if you have any insight on that.
How long were you guys together for? Did you say that already?
About 4 years.
Okay, sorry, I'm insane. About 4 years. And how old are you?
I just turned 30.
Oh, okay, wow. Okay. So how'd you guys first meet?
We used to work at the same company in a biotech company. She was a scientist and I was an engineer, and we just kind of hit it off. And then she ended up leaving from the company, and we just kept in contact and whatnot. And then I decided to apply to the same company that she was at, and then we just kind of followed each other till there and started dating each other.
I could have sworn you worked at a surfboard rental place.
I get that all the time.
So what things have you been doing on this new single life journey of yours?
So I have 2 French bulldogs. They've been keeping me pretty happy and whatnot, and that's pretty good. I've been going out and seeing my family more often, which I haven't been doing in the last few years and stuff. So that's been really good. Going out and seeing my friends, traveling. I just got back from Thailand a few weeks ago with a couple of buddies of mine, so that was a pretty good trip. But yeah, just trying to stay busy and everything. But just sometimes I just get really down in my thoughts and think like, oh, it's just kind of, is this just it?
Is this just it?
Yeah, kind of like that feeling of like being like a gear in the cog and kind of just working, waking up, kind of doing that same thing and never really kind of finding happiness. I guess that kind of makes sense.
What is it that gives you happiness in general, or have you not yet found happiness?
I think I've been happy a couple of times in my life. I feel like just being being a good person to other people and just having kind of recognition on that. And I'm really a firm believer on once you kind of like leave this earth and you're gone, that the only thing you can really leave behind is remembrance. And so being remembered as a good and kind person, that's kind of like really, really kind of set with me. And I don't know, I kind of try to do my best and just being the best I can every single day without kind of looking for anything in return. But I don't know, I kind of feel that doing more of that, I'm not looking at anything from it, but I feel that I'm getting taken advantage of, and I'm starting to recognize that now by over offering myself, and that kind of makes sense.
How do you feel as though you're getting taken advantage of, or that you're over offering yourself?
I don't know. I feel like I'm the type of person that would just go to the end of the world for someone as like a friend or anybody in my life. And when I'm kind of like in a rut or kind of down, I feel that that's kind of, I'm kind of put in second place or kind of last place. And I know that's kind of like a bad mindset to put yourself in, kind of like expecting people to kind of be there for you. And I shouldn't put myself in that mindset, but I kind of get lost sometimes and go back into that mindset of just being like, wow, like why am I doing all of this for someone that doesn't even think or even really care about what I'm really going through? Kind of sounds selfish of me really saying it right now.
No, that's a classic conundrum for anyone who I guess identifies as a giver. It's like, will the universe throw this back out at me, right? And then you're saying it's selfish because good done with the intent of receiving back is selfish?
Yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm like, oh, I'm looking for something back, but just, I don't know, I feel like being recognized or feeling that like you're appreciated really like means a lot for some people.
What kind of good? Tell me about the kind of good that you give into the universe.
So I'm really good into like dog charities and stuff. So I've been really volunteering in like dog shelters and like animal shelters, because just having 2 dogs of my own and what's going on with just dogs and animals in general and stuff, I kind of really put a lot of time into that. Spending time with like my mother, who had a kidney transplant about 3 years ago, and she's kind of on a time frame now since of that surgery and whatnot. So just kind of spending as much time as I can with her and everything and whatnot. So I don't know, it's just doing right by like my friends, doing right by like my fellow employees that I work for my company, and just kind of just being the best person I can every day.
Do you ever get anything back from that? Do you ever feel like there's something that you receive for yourself from doing all those things?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, I get it back plenty times fulfilled, but sometimes just the people that really mean a lot in my life, that I'm really looking forward to, that I kind of feel that's sometimes missing, and that's kind of where I kind of just go. And I have a lot of really close friends that are really successful in life with just where they are financially or in their relationships and stuff, and I kind of always just felt like I was kind of like the black sheep in my group. I can never really get myself to where they need to be, and I know it's kind of bad setting expectations of like yourself to meet like where other people are, but I don't know. I feel that I'm like far behind, but everybody tells me I'm not, but I just, in my mind, I feel that I'm behind.
Which aspects, what is it? So career and relationships, would you say are the aspects that you feel behind in?
I want to say like most, like maybe a little bit on the career side. I want to be more further in my career where I'm at right now, but that's just kind of working your way up the ladder and taking a day by day aspect on it. But yeah, relationships, I don't know, the whole game of being in a relationship, the time and the effort that you put in, and then if it doesn't work out, you kind of just walk away and kind of have to just restart again. And I don't know, it's just really kind of sucks and just hurts after a long run. And I don't know, it's just, I don't know if I want to get back into that role again. And I don't know if you know, with dating and stuff and all the apps and everything, it's not the same how it used to be. I'm really about going and meeting someone in person rather than talking to someone on an app and stuff. So I just feel like it's going to be a really hard challenge kind of getting back into that relationship role.
Yeah. You know, man, I mean, fuck, dude. It's well, you brought up this fucking documentary in the very beginning of all of this, and as you're talking to me, I really am thinking about everything, and really am like, I mean, dude, I don't know how to solve any of these fucking issues. I don't.
That's how I wake up every day. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to figure out one of these issues and try to just kind of set it up as a list and go check one off each time. But it's just like I hit a wall, and I'm just like, how do I get through here onto the next step? And I don't know. And it's just I guess it's just life, and I should just kind of be happy and kind of just take it as it is and just be happy for what I have. Honestly, I don't really know why I have too much to complain about, honestly.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. I think that's no, really, I think that's the thing. Is like I'm sitting here every single day, upset over what I don't have instead of being grateful for everything that I do have. And I think it's just my mindset that's kind of poisoned me in a sense. And maybe that's the same thing that's happening to you.
I really think so too. I just kind of need to get out of this bad mindset and have a different change in my perspective.
You could also cut your arm off.
Thought about it a couple of times, starting with
I don't know how that would help, but you could do it.
Well, I'm an engineer, so that might suck on my duties.
I feel bad. Is there anything else like aspect of any of this that I can help you with, or anything else that you, anything else that you want out of this phone call that I can kind of be of help to?
No, I just kind of honestly right now I just feel a lot better, just kind of getting it off my chest.
Oh, good, fucking good.
It's just like I said before, I just really appreciate all that you do and love the whole aspect of your channel and just everything that you do, man, and just props to you, and thanks for hearing me out and hearing what I have to say and everything. And even though you don't have any answers to really get back, and it's all good, I just really like the fact that you just heard me out, man. Thank you very much.
Good. Let me know if you figure it out. Let me know if you get a new beautiful girlfriend and you make a car that sells stuff, I think you can do it.
So a vaccine, or maybe some like innovation in the lab space.
That would be cool. That'd be cool if you made a vaccine. I'll say this. I'll end to say this. What's your name one more time? Cam. Oh yes, Cam. Cam. Here's what I'll say. You seem like a nice guy, so if you develop any kind of vaccine, I will take it with absolutely no questions asked. Just off of your charming personality alone, I will put anything you tell me in my body.
Oh man, just make sure we go through the FDA process first before I.
No, fuck the FDA. I'm on the CAM.
There you go. Well, you'll be first in line. I'll make sure I get a Band-Aid for you.
Beautiful. Take care, Cam.
Thank you, brother. Have a wonderful day. Appreciate you.